And hello everybody and welcome to today's webinar on how to use DJI Modify to edit drone models. Now some of you may have already come across DJI Modify before or use DJI Terra for processing your drone data sets and turning them into 3D models and meshes and point clouds, as well as ortho mosaics. And this is the next step once you've captured that data to put it into a secondary software by DJI to basically edit that data and export it in different file formats. So when it comes to DJI Modify, DJI Modify is a very easy to use, user-friendly software, very similar to DJI Terra, intuitive control. There's not loads and loads of different settings you have to get used to and get your head around. One-click functionality, and it really does streamline your data sets from DJI Terra into DJI Modify for editing. So the software itself is very efficient. It's exported directly from your process in DJI Terra. And really what you can utilize Modify for is to edit them data sets. So to actually get the most out of it in the end. You might come across sometimes some of the data sets you've collected with drone might have some gaps in it, or if you're flying over a water body, there's almost like stalactites and stalagmites all over it. Now what you can do then in DJI Modify is edit that and remove it and make it a much more visually pleasing data set, which either you can utilize yourself or then share that with the end client. So just some of the tools in DJI Modify are the flattening routine, there's a water surface repair, there's also hull repair, removing floating parts, texture repair, and as well as one-click editing as well. So you can remove things like vehicles very simply, very easily using the tools in DJI Modify. So some of you, I'm sure, have experienced this with flying drones over the past few years. We can make really great models with it in DJI Terra, but we sometimes find in there's some inconsistencies or some slight model defects within there as well. And there's a few causes for them. And that could be environmental conditions, poor lighting. It could be some issues with the actual camera itself, or it could be the processing software. The algorithms, even though are very good in Terra, can sometimes cause some floating parts which we might want to remove out from the data set in the end, and create things like data gaps or texture gaps. So sometimes we might not get just full coverage of a particular, let's say, elevation or rooftop, and we might want to fill that gap. Water surface errors, as previously mentioned before, we can get quite jagged edges on our water body. Well, we can smooth that over in DJI Modify. And in certain areas where we might have poor overlap of imagery, we can edit that data to fill in the gaps and fulfill that data set to the highest possible level. So the model quality requirements, so high quality 3D models, they're the ones we want to be putting into DJI Modify for editing, and they're essential for the data perception side in various industries. We're going to be using this data set to be used for decision making. What's the next best step? So we really want to make sure that that data is the best possible it can be, with no holes, no gaps. So it's really as our role as surveyors or drone operators to be able to do that and produce the best possible model once captured. So there are some current challenges with existing tools. So there are quite a few software programs out there which will edit the data set once being processed in DJI Terra, things like Blender. Now, some of these can be quite a steep learning curve. They're I suppose, geared up for professionals in that particular field. For editing to manipulate that data. Well, we all know DJI Terra and DJI as a whole, in terms of any of their hardware or software package they utilize, are very user friendly, and the learning curve to be able to operate their drones or process data in their software packages is very easy and a quick learning curve to come to really become a master of their software packages. So we don't need that steep learning curve with DJI Modify. There's all the tools are readily available with one-click functionality to produce the results we require. And sometimes the poor compatibility with large-scale models. You can imagine, in this day and age where we've never been able to collect data as fast as efficiently as we have done now. these models are quite huge, and some of our software packages can struggle to deal with them large data sets. DJI Modify, as long as you meet the minimum requirements for their software package, can easily handle large data sets fast and efficiently to be able to produce and edit their models to get best possible outcomes. So really to take from this that it is very, very user friendly. No steep learning curve to really master it and utilize all the tools and functionality in there. And hopefully the webinar day will give you some reflection and some key points on how to use that software. You might already have some data sets you've already collected and processed in Terra. You might want to download the software at the end and give that a go, and utilizing this webinar to get the most out of that. So this is sort of the current methodology with it not using DJI Modify. So we'll go onto site and use so let's say an M350 with a P1 camera and collect 1,000 images. But once we've collected that data from the P1, we'll take the SD card out and import it into DJI Terra and complete our 3D reconstruction with that, with the point cloud and the OBJ mesh. That can take around an hour and a half. And then what we'll do is we'll take that data out and do some typical sort of cutting and formatting conversion of that data, and that would be quite cumbersome in itself just by exporting that data set. What we do then is traditionally with them taking output into a third-party software modeling, editing, like Blender, and that's all down for a user, an individual, to do that and cut sections out and edit that model to where they think it needs to be, and then from there exporting that model out. So you can see from that timescale there, it's definitely a good few hours work to get that desired results out at the other end. Now, what DJI Modify comes in to do that is it simplifies that whole process, not only in terms of time to be able to do that, but also in terms of not being having to export and re-import data sets into different software packages, which just by importing data into third-party softwares can take a long time just to import. So what Modify does is it stops that. It prevents you having to do that. One simplified process of data collection, data processing, data modification and export, all in the DJI suite. So hopefully from today's workflow, you'll be able to see how easy that is to use. So we're going to move over from the demo, just a little bit about the data set we use. So I've already processed this data set from a Mavic 3 Enterprise in DJI Terra, and using the one-click toggle button to export to Terra, it pushes that data into DJI Modify, where we can start using some of the editing tools. So first of all, we're going to look at this data set of a telecommunications tower. So this is just a really good example of how well DJI Modify can handle these large data sets. This is over 50 individual blocks created by 3,000 images. And we can also see how we get the same high quality from DJI Terra put through to DJI Modify, that high rendered mesh file. So we can see some of the tools at the top there. On the toolbar, we've got the flattening tool, the remove floating objects, the water surface tool, and the removal of vehicles, which we'll look at later. So first of all, what we're going to use is the remove floating objects tool. So this is a real great tool to use just to do kind of a mass clean, and all these parts which are floating around we can remove in a couple of clicks. Some of the tools might ask you to increase to a higher quality render, which you can do. Also, you can go back to previous versions as well. So once you've edited, you've always got them previous versions to go back to if you wish. So clicking on this remove tool highlights them all. We can delete them individually, or we can do just that mass deletion on it and remove all them. So straight away, this data set looks so much better without having these additional floating parts to it. So next, we're going to look at this power plant data set, which we are going to use the water repair tool on it. So as sort of mentioned previously, when you are flying over water bodies, you get this kind of jagged zigzag effect of the data set. It's not smooth or flattened. It kind of goes up and down in the X and in the Z axis, sorry. So using this water tool, what we can do is find our area of interest, click on the water repair tool, and basically we select the color we want the rest of the flattening to be. So we can use this small tool here and click on the water body, and then all we do then is we click around the water area, create the polygon around it, and then when we click OK, and already you can start seeing that area is being filled with the color we've selected. And then when we click OK, it will also flatten that area. So it'll average all that area out to make that data set much more presentable in that area. You see you can move it up and down as well to cover that. And then basically flatten that here on in by clicking the OK button. So it makes that data set much more presentable. Then we're going to look at a car park scenario and using some of the flattening, removing and the copying tools in here. So we're going to click on a previous version. And from here you can see this is I've been playing with this data set. So it's a large data set of vehicles. So I'm going to click on one of the blocks we want to edit, select that to a high quality model, which this tool requires. And then we'll zoom in on a particular area. So first we're going to use this this flattening tool. So we can ask it to find the vehicles and basically make it flatten it. So we're going to look at this. So this is, I've just turned off the colors here to give the mesh uncolorized, so we can see what this actual tool is doing below underneath the color. So once I click that flatten, you'll see it remove them vehicles. So what it does is it takes the known values at the side of that vehicle and basically interpolates between the vehicles and flattens it out. So it's basically drawn a surface across that to give the impression of what's underneath that vehicle. And I see it's flattened it there, but you can still see the vehicles. So what you can do then is use the texture repair to actually blend that that data set in. So we can take that, mark around that area. So we obviously want to color it grey so it blends in, we can't see it. So mark around there as so. Select it. Wait a few moments. There we go. We've blended the rest in with the rest of the model. So you've got to take care when you're doing it, but you can see the results there and get the picture of what this kind of tool does. You can also use the selection tool. So if you want to look down at some of these arrows at the bottom here, then you could mark them and use the almost like a copy and paste, copy that and move it along. So you can recreate that feature. So this could be used in repairing parts of the model which you might have missed or hasn't come through as clean as you'd hoped. If it has a repeat feature, then you could copy this and put this into place. And they're really the tools to use. There's also this one called the fill hole. So actually from photogrammetric models, when you are on, I suppose, highly metallic materials or glass, you can sometimes get this hole effect in the top of this roof where it basically almost pits and it's not very visually pleasing, does affect the results. So some of the tools in here, this fill hole tool, you can actually mark out, I'll show you here, mark out this area of interest on the top of this roof. First I'll show you what this means by filling in these holes. So you see that it's just hasn't got enough information to basically create a surface for that mesh. So what we do is we mark out using the fill hole tool, mark out this area we want to fix, and we can fill them holes in then. There we go, click the polygon around it. That's necessarily too neat. And then we go to fill holes. Takes a few moments. And there we go. All that data set repaired, all filled in. Looks like what it should look like now. And then once we do, we can all share that up to the cloud via DJI. So I hope that's been informative in terms of what tools you can use in DJI. They can be exported, their models, and put into third-party softwares if you wish. If you do have any further questions or would like to get in contact with myself, then you can in the chat or send me an email at james.pick@copters.com. If you are in the UK and you are interested in utilising drones, then we are running an offer with a Mavic 3 Enterprise, including DJI and a free A2 CFC course, plus a 30-minute handover session with myself to go through any drone setups, how to capture the best data, and how to basically get the most of that in your business. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.